Hi, are you thinking about selling your home? Well, before the for sale sign goes in the yard, you need to ask yourself these six critical questions. The answers to these questions could save or cost you thousands. Be sure to stay to the end for a bonus question, which could literally be the difference between success and frustration. Let's go. The number one question sellers have, and we get it all the time: how much is my home worth? Well, that is the magic question, and there's several ways for you to determine your home value. Of course, you can go to websites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. They all have what we call automated valuation services. That's just an automation based on some homes in your area, and they give you an estimate of what your home might list for, what its worth might be. The best way to determine that is to do what we call comp, or comparative market analysis. We look at homes that are similar to yours, similar size, similar floor plan, similar age, similar bedrooms, bathrooms, similar school district. Homes that have sold or pending or active close to your home that are similar size, that'll give you a really good idea of what the market is saying those homes are worth. But the listing price is the magic number. We'll talk about that more in other videos, but for now, that's the best way for you to get your value, is to look on the automated sites or look at comps in your area next to you. The second question you should ask is, how much is it going to cost to sell my home? You're going to have fees such as attorney's fees, closing costs, seller concessions, realtor fees, upgrade costs, repair costs. There are a lot of costs involved with selling your home. It's not unusual to have 5 or 10% of the value of the home go into repairs and upgrades and fees and closing costs, seller's concessions. We provide what we call a net sheet, which is going to estimate those costs for you, but that's really important for you to figure out what the total cost is for your home to sell. The third question you want to ask is, how much equity do you have? When you know what you're going to list your home for, and when you have a really good idea of what the costs are going to be to sell, you're going to be able to determine what the net proceeds from your sale are. You can take these net proceeds and compare it to any mortgage balance that you might have, and that's going to be the amount of equity that you have in your home. It's a really important number because that's probably what you're going to use to move to your next home. So the monthly payment that you want to make and the amount of equity that you have in your current home, those are things that we'll use to help you determine what price point you should be shopping for your next property. Now, when you get a mortgage statement, it's going to have a mortgage balance on there. That's not exactly what the payoff is, but it's close enough for this exercise. So use your mortgage balance minus your listing price minus the cost of sale, and that'll tell you what your home equity is. The fourth question you need to ask is, how long is it going to take to sell? This is what we call a timeline. When you look at a listing, you'll see something called DOM, days on market. That's how long it took a home to go under contract, not necessarily close. But you can look at homes in your area and you can see how long they're staying on the market before they go under contract. Now, a lot of things are going to affect that days on market time frame. The condition of your home, the listing price you selected, the time of year, what kind of market we're in. Also, different price homes have different days on markets. We have studies that show us, based on the price of your home and the area that you're in, how long it's taking for homes to go under contract. This is important because if you're going to make a move, you need to have some idea about how long it's going to take to get your home sold. The fifth question we're going to ask is, what kind of improvements do you make on your home before you sell? Now, the best bang for your buck is going to be paint and carpet. If you've got old carpet, it's great to replace it. If you've got multicolored paint in your home, it's an awesome idea to get a single color paint because you're competing with a lot of new construction, and that's what buyers are seeing when they go on these new construction homes. If you're not sure about the condition of your home, it may be worthwhile to do a home inspection for you to find any major issues that you could correct before the home goes on the market, the type of issues that might cause a buyer to walk away if they discover them. But what you want to do is consider improvements, consider repairs, and make the best decision so that you can get your home in the best condition before it actually goes on the market for sale. Question number 6, how are you going to sell? There's really only two ways. You can use the roof services of a realtor, or you can go for sale by owner. Now, for sale by owner is for a certain type of person that likes to do everything themselves. It's not as popular today as it was several years ago during the pandemic. It's harder to do a for sale by owner when you're in a shifting market like we have right now. But if that's what you want to try, we have resources that we can provide you to hopefully help you have a successful outcome. If you're going to use a realtor services, you want to check with your realtor. How long have they been a realtor? What kind of reviews do they have? What are their fees? What does that include? But that's an important decision for you to make. How are you going to put your home on the market? And I promised a bonus question, and here it is. This is probably, in this market, the most important question you have to answer. And the question is, why are you selling? We're in a market now where it's not the type of market for someone who just wants to try selling or somebody who wants to see if they can get a certain price for their home. This is a market only for people who need to sell. Do you need to relocate for a job? Do you need to downsize and get away from stayers? Do you need to upsize because you have additional family members? Or do you need to move because of health reasons, divorce or death? Those are things that create reasons why people need to sell. If you don't have a strong reason of why you're selling, you're not going to make it through the sales process in this market because it's slower than normal. Selling is hard. Regardless of what that realtor across the kitchen table said, your home is going to sell in a minute and selling is easy. That's not actually the case. Selling is hard. You've got to be ready for showings every day. In our market, county-wide, we're averaging about 50 or 60 days on the market. So that's 2 months where you have to have your home in pristine, top-shape condition and knowing that somebody's going to come in and they're going to evaluate it and make a decision whether to buy or not. So it's hard. You need a strong reason to sell. And without that, it's probably not the best time for you to be on the market. We put a lot of resources in the description below to help you answer these questions. Of course, if you would like to talk to a realtor, reach out, call or text me. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. We'll just get the ball rolling, answer your initial questions, provide you details so you can make good decisions. After a few minutes in the conversation, you'll have all the information you need to make the right decision for you and your family. Hope you have a great day.